They're the kind of moments that keep network executives up at night fearing the worst, while hoping for the best. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most controversial TV moments. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at both scripted scenes from TV shows and unrehearsed or unexpected TV moments that generated controversy. Some of the content discussed may be offensive to some viewers, and some entries delve into plot points from later seasons of shows, so both mature content and spoiler warnings are now in effect.
And you could have stopped it. And I could have. Justin Foley could have, and a dozen other people at least.
Number 10. Putin's holster. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert managed to do something quite unlikely. He pissed off Trump supporters and the LGBTQ+ community with the same joke. When responding to President Trump's treatment of CBS journalist John Dickerson, the Late Show host went on a rant that culminated in a punchline that implied that Trump was only useful at performing oral sex on Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster.
Colbert later apologized to the LGBTQ+ community for his choice of words, but made it clear he did not feel bad about offending the president, whose supporters had called for his cancellation, and rejoiced in Trump personally criticizing him for the joke.
The President of the United States has personally come after me and my show. And there's only one thing to say.
Number 9. The Wardrobe Malfunction, Super Bowl 38. In 2004, Justin Timberlake was a surprise guest closing off the MTV-produced Super Bowl halftime show starring Janet Jackson. At the end of their duet, to drive home the song's sexually charged lyrics, JT ripped at Jackson's top. That much was clearly planned. What wasn't planned was that he accidentally exposed her right nipple in the process. Timberlake and Jackson insisted it was an accident or wardrobe malfunction, while others speculate it must have been an intentional publicity stunt.
I was just I was sort of dumbfounded at how crucified the whole thing was.
Following the incident, the FCC cracked down on TV and tried unsuccessfully to fine CBS, who aired the game, $550,000. Number 8. Hannah's Suicide, 13 Reasons Why. This popular Netflix series is controversial overall due to its primary subject matter of teen suicide, which some experts accuse the show of glorifying. Others argue that it doesn't do enough to show why main character Hannah's decision to take her own life is wrong, and warn teens who've dealt with sexual assault and suicidal thoughts against watching the series. On top of that, the scene where Hannah actually kills herself is particularly graphic, as it depicts her slitting her wrist with a razor blade in a bathtub, followed by her mother finding her body.
No. No. Come on, honey. It's okay. Come on, baby.
Number 7. The Addiction Demon Rape, American Horror Story. American Horror Story isn't a tame show by any standard, but one scene at the beginning of their 2015-2016 hotel season stands out as particularly gruesome. A heroin addict named Gabriel gets high in a seedy hotel room, and no sooner than he shoots up, a strange creature with no discernible facial features wearing a strap-on dildo emerges from the shadows and proceeds to rape him. This is not implied either. It's shown on screen in graphic detail. While it may seem to have been done for shock value alone, the show's creator insists it was meant to depict how addiction feels. Number 6. Incest, The X-Files. It's an episode centered on a family of murderers, a family where one of the 3 brothers is father to the other 2. Also, their limbless mother is stored under a bed until she's pulled out for sex, and when the inevitable happens and is carried to term, the incestuous clan buries the baby. And, believe it or not, this storyline aired on a major US network in prime time. Well, once anyway, before it was banned for several years. This is by far the most gruesome and disturbing X-Files episode.
New-Laxova syndrome, Michael-Gruber syndrome, atrophy of the cloaca. I don't even know where to begin.
The Peacock family hasn't shown up since on the program, and probably won't ever again. Number 5. Ramsay Rapes Sansa, Game of Thrones. Beheadings, child murder, and even sexual violence are all par for the course on this series. There is one scene, however, that had many longtime fans saying the show had gone too far. In a Season 5 episode, Ramsay Bolton rapes Sansa Stark on their wedding night and makes Theon Greyjoy watch. While it wasn't as graphic as it could have been, many found it gratuitous and unnecessary, given that the scene did not happen in the books. It even prompted one site to stop covering the series entirely. Sansa did get her revenge on Ramsay the following season, but for many, the damage had already been done. Number 4. Maude's Abortion, Maude. As a spin-off of All in the Family, one of the most controversial shows of its day, it's no surprise that Maude also took on some very sensitive subject matter.
The coons are coming.
But while All in the Family's Archie Bunker was controversial for his racism and homophobia, Maude turned heads due to her feminism and outspoken liberal values. One episode that caused quite a stir was the two-parter Maude's Dilemma, wherein Maude discovers she's pregnant and, after much deliberation, decides to have an abortion.
When you were young, abortion was a dirty word. It's not anymore. Now you think about that.
The episode's original airing caused nearly 7,000 protest letters and even got the attention of the United States Catholic Conference. Number 3. Censoring Muhammad, South Park. Always ones to poke the bear, South Park produced 2 episodes primarily dealing with censoring the image of the Prophet Muhammad due to threats of violence from extremists.
Okay, what if we cover his face with a paper bag?
No, because you still be showing him walking around. That could be the trouble.
In a possibly ironic twist, Trey Parker and Matt Stone received real threats of violence. And in response, Comedy Central decided to censor the 2nd episode's visual depiction of Muhammad. While many thought this was part of the joke, seeing as how Parker and Stone had their Muhammad wear a bear costume in the 1st episode, it wasn't. Comedy Central's censorship of an episode about censorship did help drive Parker and Stone's point home, though.
If you don't want to be made fun of anymore, all you need are guns and bombs to get people to stop.
Number 2. Ellen's Coming Out, Ellen.
Ellen, are you coming out or not?
Ellen DeGeneres' sexual orientation is common knowledge today, but in the 90s, a major American sitcom having an openly gay lead actor, let alone lead character, was a rarity to say the least. That was until DeGeneres came out publicly in real life, with her character Ellen Morgan following suit.
Susan, I'm gay.
While the highly publicized coming out episode was a ratings winner, the show was canceled a year later. Some argue due to the controversy the episode created. Ellen celebrated the 20th anniversary of her coming out on her talk show with guests Oprah Winfrey and Laura Dern, who were both part of the original episode.
Why?
Well, because you don't have to fight for anyone to embrace you and say how wonderful you have a family and children.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
In the victory of good over evil. Fight the real enemy.
You bunch of pussies. I'm just getting started.
Hey, there's a guy burning the Puerto Rican flag! Who is burning the flag?
Number 1. Bill Says the N-Word, Real Time with Bill Maher. Bill Maher is no stranger to controversy, and when he's under fire, he typically doubles down and never apologizes. That was until he made an off-the-cuff joke during an interview with U.S. Senator Ben Sasse.
We'd love to have you work in the fields with us.
Work in the field?
That's part of that. That's...
Senator, I'm a house.
No, it's a joke.
HBO yanked the clip, and Maher issued an apology the next day. But the outcry and calls for Maher's cancellation continued. In his following episode, Maher was joined by guests Ice Cube and Simone Sanders, who not only explained to him exactly why what he said was a huge problem, but also that this was a teachable moment.
And so for a lot of people in America, that was like a slap in the face to Black America, particularly to Black women.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.